Hello everyone, welcome to Fresh Learning Academy. So this is an exclusive video with Midun. He has been shortlisted and selected in Berger Paints on the profile of Senior Sales Officer Training. This video is exclusive because in this video, Midun will share each and every detail about the Berger Paint selection round, how you can crack the interview, and what is the process. So first of all, Midhun, welcome to Fresh Learning Academy and thanks a lot to come forward and try to help out job seekers. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Thanks a lot.
So Midhun, not doing a lot of delay, let us start with
Yeah,
today's video. Please tell from the very beginning, how did you apply for Berger Paint, whether it was a off-campus, on-campus placement, and everything which you think will be beneficial for the people or the students who would be applying for this profile.
sure, Fatima. First of all, I'm Midun Dinesh. As she rightly said, I was being selected as SSOT of Berger Paints Recruitment 2021. So I hail from Kerala and my college is Lead College of Management, Palakkad. So about the application, actually Berger calls this pan-India recruitment during mid of August. So my placement officer gave me the link because they circulate this to the colleges and placement officers. So he gave me the link and I applied with my resume. And there was a selection process through this resume because some of my friends were rejected at the initial stage onwards. So almost 50 plus students were selected from my college for the test. So coming about the process, there are three processes. The first one is obviously the proctor test. And second one is the regional round interview, which was scheduled at Bangalore. And there is a final round interview from Kolkata, which is online. These are the process which should be go for the recruitment. Yeah.
Let us start with the very
Yeah.
first process.
Yeah.
If you can remember or recall, how did
Yeah.
you crack that round? What were the questions?
Okay, so I will start with the first round. The first round started from October 29 to October 3rd, if my memory is correct.
Mhm.
So that was proctor test. So every candidate will be having some fear that it will be an aptitude test. There were a lot of questions related to maths or
Mhm.
aptitude, something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
obviously, we have aptitude questions, but I would divide it into four actually. Uh, the questions comprises of sales and Berger related questions, then verbal ability and reading comprehension, then logical reasoning, and obviously quantitative aptitude. But
Yeah.
the more weightage goes to sales and Berger related questions. Almost 40 marks are awarded to this segment. So
Okay.
there will be some situations related to sales, and obviously there are questions related to Berger also, like who is the CEO of Berger,
Mhm.
then what was the turnover of 2018 of Berger, like that. Okay. Then 20 marks for verbal ability and reading comprehension, which is very basic. Anyone who had his degree could crack the verbal ability questions, and
Mhm.
logical reasoning for 20 marks and quantitative aptitude for 20 marks. So what I would say, if you are not that much expert in quantitative aptitude, you can skip, or you can do a little bit small in the aptitude session, and you can concentrate much on the other sides.
Okay.
What I do is like I concentrated much on sales and Berger related question, then
Mhm.
verbal ability and all, and it's easy to crack, I would say. So
Okay.
that was the first round.
Mhm. Midun, is there any negative marking and what was the duration for that test?
Actually, 100 questions and 75 minutes.
Okay.
So we will hardly get less than 1 minute to solve a question, but I would say that's enough to solve
Okay.
because it ended in a peaceful way, I would say.
Mhm. And how would you
So
describe it, Midun? Like it is MCQs, multiple choice questions,
yeah,
or
yeah, all are multiple choice questions, and there is no negative marks. So that's a one boon.
Mhm.
And moreover, this is a sales job now.
Mhm.
So you don't need to be that much expert in aptitude and all, but they are looking at overall ability of the candidate. Yeah.
Okay, great. You have
Okay.
explained it in a very good manner. Any tips from your end if somebody would like to, if he is having that fear of cracking aptitude round? Is there
Yeah.
anything? How did you prepare for those things?
Uh, how I prepared is just like I took some basic questions because all of them applying are MBA or PGDM candidates.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them should have written CAT or some entrance exams of MBA. So that basic level questions is more than enough for cracking the
Okay.
this round, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I just took some random questions, very basic questions, like the equation of distance. You can calculate the speed, time, etc. So directly by applying the equations, we can get the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my level of preparation.
And as you told that there were questions related to company as well. So would you also
Yes.
suggest or tell student to do a thorough research about the company?
Yeah, obviously, I would say if you are applying to not only in Berger, in any interview, you should have a thorough knowledge about the company. So what I did is just searching in Google,
Mm-hmm.
then searching in YouTube, and also the one thing which I had was my seniors are still working in Berger, so I
Mm-hmm.
asked them what all things which we get rather than from the internet,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some things they should know which may be not in the internet. For
Right.
example, if I would say Berger has many innovative products. The one thing is moisture meter. Okay. So they have express painting and they would calculate the moisture of our walls using an instrument. And
Mm-hmm.
that instrument is made by Berger. So this is one thing which is not in the internet. So these all things, minute things, helps us to crack all the rounds.
And definitely today, yours interview will be like a boon for everybody who is preparing
Yeah.
for Berger. Okay, now let's move to the like you distributed the test into 3 or 4 parts. So
Four
first,
parts.
relate, yeah. Would you like to explain more about this round, about the questions?
About the questions, as I rightly said, simple questions. If coming to this aptitude, then there are questions of distance, then speed, then time was there, then discount questions were there, percentage questions were there, and all those questions, if we just apply the equation directly, we will get the answer.
Okay.
Okay, so it will hardly take less than 30 seconds to solve those questions. And coming to verbal ability or reading comprehension, there will be a passage of English, which is
Mm-hmm.
very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And just by the thing is that we have to adjust the time because we are only getting 75 for completing the 100 questions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the only thing we have to concentrate is to adjust the time. That's what they are
Right.
looking also.
Right.
Okay, we should be time bound, right? So the time is the one thing you have to, because there are many friends who can't complete the questions uh, within time. So
Mm-hmm.
time is important. That's the only thing you have to be concentrated on.
Okay, so this is all about the first round. Many of the comments which will definitely come if I won't ask you this question. So my question is, how much time did it took when you applied and you gave your first round of this test? What was the time duration? How much time frame did it took?
Actually, for applying, I think they give time because for 5 minutes we can get the time for logging in and
Mm-hmm.
setting up the camera and all. You should have a very good internet, and it will be very good if you are doing it in a laptop. I did it in
Mm-hmm.
laptop.
Okay.
So then I think I finished before 75 minutes.
Okay.
It hardly took around 68 to 70 minutes for
Okay.
me to complete. And
Okay.
most of them took that time.
Okay. So now, when did you got your result that you have been shortlisted in this written test and you appeared for the second round, which is regional round?
Yeah, so it's on October 2nd, I wrote the exam,
Mm-hmm.
and the results came on October 31st.
Okay.
And previously, it's told that our regional level interviews will be in our own home state.
Mm-hmm.
But after the results came, we got another mail
Mm-hmm.
that we should appear the regional level at Bangalore and
Okay.
Marriott, Fairfield of Marriott at
Mm-hmm.
Rajajinagar.
Mm-hmm.
It was on November 25th.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there on November 25th for attending the second round.
Okay. Now let us highlight or focus on the second round because this is also a very important round and students do have questions. What do they ask in regional round? So please let us know, Midun, how was your overall experience?
Yeah, first of all, that was a fantabulous experience for attending such a big round, and now it's offline, right? So
Mm-hmm.
many interviews are now going on online, but this is a good experience that I could attend the offline interview of such
Right.
a reputed institution. So it was in Marriott. Then we reached over there at 8 a.m. and we were completely clueless about the rounds. We don't know whether it was GD or whether it is interview going on, because
Mm-hmm.
in past year, what my senior told is like they had two rounds of interviews only. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we were completely clueless. There was no mails regarding the rounds and all. So we
Mm-hmm.
reached there at 9:30. HR came. There were a hell lot of people from Berger there,
Mm-hmm.
like the head of South, then Kerala head,
Mm-hmm.
then HR of training,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So at 9:30, it was she who explained the pre-placement talk. And she told like the first round is obviously group discussions.
Okay.
And we were almost 121 around students appearing for the second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she after the pre-placement talk, she divided into 11 groups, and there were two halls
Mm-hmm.
arranged for the group discussion, and we were separated into groups and
Okay.
went for the GD.
Okay.
So coming to the topics, I would say I was in the 11th group, and the topic which I got is like, is reservation system needed for India?
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a question which I got.
Mm-hmm.
And many of my friends got topics like, do we need politics in campus? Is social media good or bad? Impact of online education, then government job or private job, which one do you prefer, etc. So as you know, these are all simple topics.
Yes,
So
this
their
is.
intention,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
This is what
yeah.
I was
So
about to
they,
say. Like, students are very much scared about, ma'am, please tell us what will be the topic. We can't promise that topic will remain same for everybody. But yes, these are very simple topics
this,
we should
yeah,
be aware of. Yes.
yeah. So their intention is just like to make us to talk actually. So
Mm-hmm.
before entering into GD, what our HR told is like, you should be very aggressive, you
Mm-hmm.
should be very smart, and you should be very energetic, because the company
Mm-hmm.
needs vibrant blood. No, they
Mm-hmm.
need vibrant people. They need energetic people. So it's GD is one good platform which we can showcase our own, what I would say, energy, right?
Right.
So that's the thing which they looked upon
Mm-hmm.
in the group discussion.
What did you notice at the time of group discussion? Because this would be an exclusive video, because you are someone who has faced all the round and has been, selected with this particular company. So what will be your suggestions to others who would be applying for this company and would be facing GD round?
Yeah, if you are facing the GD, especially towards the sales roles, you should be
Mm-hmm.
very energetic, and you should have that confidence to start the GD, or you should keep the momentum at the last. And in between, if they request something, then we should act accordingly, because in mid of our GD, HR told like, now all those who are speaking people can stop, and the less talking people can now have a discussion like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If and only if HR is telling like that, you can stop talking. Otherwise, you have to show your full energy over there.
Right. So, how was GD all about? You told that you should be vibrant, you should look
Yeah,
energetic because this is
yeah,
sales profile.
yeah,
How will you tell or describe yourself as a candidate so that it could benefit others? What
yeah.
kind of
What
temperament? Yes.
Yeah, what I did is I initiated the GD. It's
Mm-hmm.
me who started the discussion. So I think that's one good thing to
Yes.
score in GD.
Right. Very true.
And I keep on talking about diversify topics, because the topic is reservation system.
Mm-hmm.
So within that topic, I explored my knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe 10 minutes is the time for GD,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I have talked for 4 or 5 minutes in between.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Mm.
Then now move to the next round. So once,
Mm.
how much time did it take for them to result declare for GD? And what was the ratio, if you know
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the pre-placement started at 10 a.m. and it almost ended at 12. And HR told like you can go for lunch and come
Mhm.
back at 1. The result will be declared like that. So we went for lunch and came back, and
Mhm.
rightly the result declared at 1 p.m. So as I told, there were 121 candidates, and
Mm.
it's reduced to 64 from the
Okay.
GD. So
Half.
what I understood is like, yeah, half, almost half. What I
Half.
understood is people who talked or people who showed their energy is selected,
Mhm.
because from a GD round they have selected almost 4 to 5 people. So cracking GD is also not that much tough in my
Mhm.
perspective. If
Mhm.
you have right prepared, that's good. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then she told like now it's going for the personal interview.
Mhm.
So at 1:30 you are going to attend the personal interview, and three panels are there, headed
Okay.
by different HRs.
Mhm.
So at a time, three people will be going for the interview.
Okay.
And then we had our own resumes,
Mhm.
rather than they gave us a booklet of Berger where
Mhm.
we should fill our bio actually. It's
Okay.
a replica of our resume
Okay.
where they told us to send every minute detail. So
Mhm.
we will be filling and they will be collecting back.
Mhm.
And it's that booklet which HRs will be looking on while we are entering into the interview.
Okay. Can you share few of the questions like what was in that booklet? Because definitely these questions will arise for students who would like each and everything to get from internet. So let us help them
Uh,
a bit.
Actually, that's not questions. Actually, that's our bio.
Mm-hmm.
Filling your name, your address, your date
Okay.
of birth, about your
Kind of
internship,
form.
your
Kind of form.
story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of form. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and it's in the mode of booklet only.
Okay.
So it's a replica of a resume
Mm-hmm.
actually. So
Do they
it's
ask
easy for the
about
HR to look upon, and they
okay.
will like,
Do they ask about any strength or weaknesses, those kind of columns?
yeah.
Because many of the companies do ask these things. They
Yeah,
do
yeah.
ask.
There were columns like your strengths, your
Mm-hmm.
weakness,
Mm-hmm.
and what if you have won any prizes,
Mm-hmm.
or some columns like that, which showcase
Achievements.
our leadership qualities and
Mm-hmm.
achievements. Yeah,
Okay, great. So once you are done with it, then what was interview all about?
yeah. And at 2 p.m., interview started.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, there were 64 people. I was the 63rd one. So I am entering into the hall at 7 itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my interview was just a very good experience also. And I will tell the questions which they ask one by one, which
Okay,
I noted.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
So there were three people sitting in the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first of all, he asked me, introduce yourself. So he has his booklet, which
Mm-hmm.
I filled.
Mm-hmm.
Then he asked me to give my resume also. So I
Mm-hmm.
passed my resume, and
Mm-hmm.
he asked to introduce myself.
Okay.
I started my introduction, and he's reading my resume with that booklet also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then he noticed my internship.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done my summer internship at Reliance Trends, Reliance Retail.
Okay.
So he started asking about the internship.
Mm-hmm.
Questions like what all you did in your internship,
Mm-hmm.
then challenges you faced during your internship,
Mm-hmm.
and why Reliance Retail, how you got selected, questions like that.
Okay.
So so it was a bit easy questions for me because I have done the internship,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a set of initial questions.
Mm-hmm.
Then the one thing, Berger is the one among the companies which usually ask the marketing related terms which we
Mm-hmm.
studied in our degree or MBA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he started asking questions related to marketing, like what is marketing mix, then what is BCG metrics,
Mm-hmm.
then what sales, what's the difference between marketing and sales,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So you can expect 3 or 4 or 5 questions related to this marketing
Mm-hmm.
terms, which is very easy, only very basics only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then he asked what is paint. That's one unexpected question which I got,
Mm-hmm.
like a definition of paint. Then there is another guy. He asked me what is the 15% of 75.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So also you can expect percentage level questions and some questions related to discount. that I
Okay.
will tell in my another round. Okay.
Okay.
So he also asked me if you are not unsure, you can use your calculator in your mobile phone. So
Okay.
I think it's the one point which he is testing our confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't use my phone or calculator. I
Mm-hmm.
calculated in my mind by taking time itself,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the answer. So
Okay.
then pass interview goes on. So the next question was my specialization in UG. I have done BBA with
Mm-hmm.
HR as specialization.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked why HR specialization now into marketing and
Mm-hmm.
sales. So that's one question. And he's almost concluding. Then he asked, "Do you have driving license? Do you love to travel?
Mm-hmm.
And can you drive for 150 kilometers a day?" And all.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a one job which requires a huge amount of travel, right?
Traveling, right?
So yeah, so by then he concluded the interview. So these were the questions which I got personally in the second round.
Midun,
Yeah.
after discussing, about your interview experience and everything, I can make out like you are a kind of person who believes in preparation, and you
Yeah.
completely look like a candidate who has done a lot of preparation to appear for
Yeah.
any of the interviews, which is a very good thing. Here, there is a request from you. If you can just tell people that if somebody asks you, tell me something about yourself or describe yourself, what is your approach when you answer or handle this kind of question?
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank my placement officer because he's the one who pushed us. We were 8 were selected for the second round. So
Hmm.
he always tells us for the level of preparation which we should have while attending interviews like a Berger.
Hmm.
So what I did is like for aptitude or for the proctor test, as I said, I just referred some basic questions of CAT and MAT, etc.
Hmm.
And then after the selection of proctor test, I called my seniors who are currently working at Berger, and I got some good insight from them.
Hmm.
And for a real-time experience, we went towards a dealer
Hmm.
near our locality, and we
Hmm.
asked about them because it's them who is really working inside the market, right?
Right.
So I yeah, I asked. We went there and we asked what are different kinds of paints and why Berger is good in market and what are the USPs of Berger and what all offers they gave to you. Some basic questions, and he was ready to answer also. So these are the first level preparations which we took, and also our college gives us placement trainings. So inside that trainings there were some common questions which every interviewer asks, like introduce yourself,
Right.
why should we hire you,
Hmm.
yeah, some common questions are there. So that all we had prepared and went for the interview. Yeah.
Great. I really feel that you have put your heart and soul while you were preparing for the campus placement, which is a best thing which everybody should learn from Midun if you're watching this video. Now, let us move ahead to the third round. When was the result for the second round declared? Okay, which was the regional round. And when did you move to the final round?
Yeah, actually the process are very fast because right the next day while we are traveling back towards our hometown in train, we got the result
Okay.
that we are selected for the final round, which is completely online, and it's from head office Kolkata, and the interviewer is the head of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So which is going to be a tough interview, or
Right.
I would say I had a fear in my mind that
Mm-hmm.
head of marketing is coming, so what should I do, like that only. But the preparation was also the same. I have noted notes at the first time also, so I referred the notes and all.
Mm-hmm.
And the date was on November 30th because
Mm-hmm.
after 4 days the final interview was scheduled online
Okay.
through Google Meet. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, how was that round all about? How many people were there? What did you call that round? And what were the questions they asked?
Yeah, from 64 they reduced into 34.
Okay.
Okay. So almost half, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So from that 34, they're going to select a few. So the round, as I said, was headed by the head of marketing
Mm-hmm.
online through Google Meet, and it started at 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
And in this interview also, I was the second last one because
Okay.
here also I ended the interview after 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So this round, I would say, is a little bit different from the previous interview. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the questions were different, the approach were different.
Okay.
The HR interview at Bangalore was more like a friendly approach, or I would say there were interpersonal connection between me and the interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
But here, there were two, but only one who is the head of marketing was speaking to me. One is simply sitting to identify or to look after me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so while I am entering into the Google Meet, I could saw the booklet in his hands, which
Mm-hmm.
I filled at Bangalore. So
Mm-hmm.
it there. So he is reading. It's more, as I said, it's my resume. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there were no self intros. He directly asked, "What are the challenges you face in your internship?"
Okay.
Okay. So I explained my challenges, and the one question he asked, "What do you dislike in Reliance Trends?"
Okay.
Okay. And also, what are the recommendations which you give towards the trends for the upliftment of organization?
Okay.
So one thing. So I answered the thing I dislike. I answered related to COVID because due to COVID there is less staff and all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So from there he asked the another question. It's more like a situation round.
Situational based
So he
questions,
asked,
right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. So he asked like employees, both employees and customers are important to a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are seeing they are quarreling, one employee and one customer is in a fight, what
Mm-hmm.
would you do?
Mm-hmm.
That was the next question which he asked, more
Mm-hmm.
like a situation question.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I answered the question, and before ending, he asked, sell your tie for 20 lakhs. Okay, a sales question.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to create a situation and have to sell my tie towards him for 20 lakh rupees
Mm-hmm.
uh, in regional language. That's another thing.
Okay.
So he tested my regional language.
Mm-hmm.
So my regional language is Malayalam.
Okay.
So he tested that over there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he again read my resume, and I have took bioscience in my plus two.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked why bioscience at plus two and you came into BBA and MBA. The question
Mm-hmm.
was there.
Mm-hmm.
So then one tricky question he asked is like, I'm the last person, almost last.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked like, do you got any answers from the people who previously attended? And also that was a tricky question from
Mm-hmm.
him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the other person, he asked me a discount, a question based on discounts. As I rightly said earlier, there will be questions from percentages and discounts.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked a question, 5 pence for 25% discount,
Mm-hmm.
or 4 pence plus 1 pen free, which
Okay.
is more profitable.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm clear with my question.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the one question which I got related to the discounts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I answered the question and moved on. And he asked, what are the different types of sales you know?
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of sales, different types of sales you know.
Right. Right.
In between, what I noticed is like he is testing my patience and all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he will be looking after his phone. Sometimes he will be not
Giving you
hearing me well.
attention. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not giving me attention. So he's testing. I think he's testing my patience.
Right, because
Whether
this would be a kind of situation which you would be facing in the real world when you
yeah,
will be going
of
out.
course.
Right.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So there may be some situations like we have to wait before our customers or our
Yes.
dealers.
Right.
So he's testing my patience over there. So he only asked me 9 or 10 questions, but the
Mm-hmm.
interview prolonged for almost 20 minutes. That's the thing.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
he tested my patience very well, and he asked me the last question is like, he said me, Midun, I'm giving you one last chance. Okay. Make my friend Sandosh. Sandosh means he sitting near him.
Mm-hmm.
Bald. That means I have to convince him for shaving his head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have to convince within 30 seconds, he
Mm-hmm.
said. So I started my convincing, and before 30 minutes, he told like, you can now stop the interview. Thank you for appearing.
Okay.
So this was a third level interview, and even my friends got some questions like sell a pen and hire a suicide bomber.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
these are the some questions which my friends got.
Okay.
And if you are not from a commerce background, if you are not from a commerce background at your UG,
Mm-hmm.
then there will be more questions from that area also. Doing his BSc physics, so he asked like atomic number of gold. Okay,
Okay.
then some physics related questions and all. So if you are not in commerce related stream, you can expect that questions also.
Okay.
So these
Subject-based
were the,
questions could be expected.
yeah, subject based questions. So these were the
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
But as far as rounds and all the process is concerned, I don't think it is a very easy kind of thing that you'll just apply haywire and you'll be able to crack Berger Payne's interview round. I don't think it's that easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, because first thing that you have to do a preliminary study about the whole the company. If you have your seniors or some people you know working at Berger, you can ask their help. You can directly go to the dealers. They may know a huge number of things about the market, so you can collect
Mm-hmm.
from
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So you have to do your preparation. And the
Mm-hmm.
one thing I have to tell is like, be confident. There may be questions which you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some stressful situations. There may be
Right.
some tricky questions,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to show your confidence. You have to show your energy.
Right.
You should be pleasant while appearing, because even in between the stress, being pleasant is not an easy thing.
Right.
Because especially I would say in the final interview, I was a little bit stressed,
Mm-hmm.
obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my fear inside whether I could crack and all, because the competition is really tough, I would say.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, before the first round, from my state, almost 650 candidates applied. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from this 650, while the final results came, only 14 were selected. Okay,
Oh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that much intense is the competition. Only
Mm-hmm.
14 is selected
Mm-hmm.
and three at waiting list. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they need a handful of good candidates actually. So that's why they are spending their time, their money, and their efforts to pick up the good ones from among these. And
Exactly.
also they are looking the HR at Bangalore told that replacement talk like, we are not just looking salespeople, we are also looking our future leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Berger needs leaders, because at higher there is immense possibilities of going at a higher level
Mm-hmm.
in upcoming years. So
Mm-hmm.
within 3 or 4 years, we could be into a management trainee level.
Mm-hmm.
So they are hunting for a future
Mm-hmm.
leader. So
And I'm
yeah,
sure at that point of time, I have to take appointment from Midun when he will be there on such position, and then Midun will be there to guide other student at that point of time.
yeah, if I'm there, I will obviously I will do whatever I could do.
Yeah, like if I talk about this video, definitely Midun, you are going to get a hell lot of questions and queries. In case if you can take out some time and reply to those, I would be glad that you'll do so. But definitely I would also request every viewer and subscriber that don't just focus on getting ready made answers or questions. Don't beat around the bush. You can see it is visible from Midun's interview that preparation is required for each and every interview, so it's not that easy, right?
Yeah, true, true.
Anything which you would like to add up while we are wrapping up this? It has been a very pleasant to speak to you because you have explained each and everything in such a nice manner that everybody would be able to understand it. At
Thank
last,
you.
is there any message from your end, not only related to Berger Paints, but for students out there who think that it's very easy to crack any interviews? So is there anything which you would like to tell them?
Yeah, but I have to tell, not only in Berger, in any interview, the first thing, you have to do a preliminary study about the market, about what the company is for, their company's products,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever you could get from internet, it's easily available. But more
Mm-hmm.
than that, if you can collect from any other sources, that will be very much helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Because even I have given some answers in between the interview, which is out of the box, which is
Mm-hmm.
not in the internet. So they
Mm-hmm.
will be thinking like, oh, this guy has some knowledge. Even at Bangalore, he asked from where you got these answers. Then I told like I have my seniors at Berger, and he asked, okay, who is that? What is his name and all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one good advantage which we
Mm-hmm.
should have. And uh, the thing is that you should be very much confident. They are looking at the confidence level. And moreover, the HR told towards us like, we are not looking your beauty or your height, your weight or your size, not like that. We are only looking at your energy. If you are able or eligible for towards sales, you can you sell your products, our products? That's the only
Mm-hmm.
thing that they are looking upon.
Mm-hmm.
So the confidence, the energy level, and the preparation will helps you to crack any interview, in my experience. Okay.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So thank you so much, Midun, for sparing out your time. And I'm glad, and I would request others also to come forward like Midun has did. He only wanted to help you all, and that is the reason he approached me. And I'm really thankful, Midun. I hope that this video gets a lot of views, not only in terms of getting views means getting a monetary benefits, but so
Yeah.
that everybody knows what Berger Paint interview is all about, because very less information is available. And
Yeah.
if
True.
it is available, then it is, it's not, you can't trust on every source.
Yeah.
So everybody can trust this video because Midun is a part of Berger Paints. And on behalf of everyone, I wish you again all the success ahead, Midun. Thank you so much for being on
Thank,
this platform.
thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you, Midun. I'll stop the recording now.